Welcome back everyone, it's Charlie. This will be my Marvel Fantastic Four video for Adam Driver. Apparently he is going to be the new Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic of the main 616 Marvel Universe. So we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. Matt Shakman from WandaVision is making the Fantastic Four movie. Really excited to see what he does with the project, but it's going to be set in the main 616 universe. So, for instance, the John Krasinski Reed Richards Mr. Fantastic in the 838 universe in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was meant to be a completely different version of the character.
It's so funny that Kevin cast John because the fans had a dream of who the perfect Reed Richards would be. And because it's an alternate universe, I think Kevin said, let's make that dream come true.
When they introduced that version of the character, he obviously said that he already was married to Sue Storm, his Invisible Woman from that universe, and he already had his children, Valeria Richards and Franklin Richards, so there'd already been a lot going on with the Fantastic Four in the timeline of that universe. But the big change that Marvel is making is that for the Fantastic Four movie, they're introducing the main version of the team from the main universe that all these movies have been taking place on. Or at least the movies that haven't been multiverse movies like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. There might be some multiverse stuff happening during the movie because we are in the middle of the multiverse saga. Obviously, we're talking about the Incursions, Kang the Conqueror, everything that's happening leading up to Avengers 5, Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars. But this is them saying that there's been a version of the Fantastic Four team in the main Marvel Universe this whole time, and they'll be explaining why we haven't seen them till now. There have been a lot of theories about that, like if they not had the accident that turned them into mutates like the cosmic storm that gave them their powers yet. When they introduced S.W.O.R.D. during WandaVision, it seemed like the logical way for them to go, because it was the beginning of Marvel Phase 4 and we knew they were going to do Fantastic Four, is that they would say that the Fantastic Four characters were working for S.W.O.R.D. and they were on a mission when they had the accident that gave them their powers, the cosmic storm. But the interesting report is that now they're actually paying off a long-running Easter egg that people had questions about during Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. There's a scene during that movie when Doctor Strange is first meeting Mr. Fantastic and the other Illuminati characters, and he makes a joke about them charting in the 60s.
Hello, Stephen.
Fantastic Four. Didn't you guys chart in the 60s?
At the time, people wondered if that was meant to be an Easter egg for the group, the Fantastic Four in the 1960s, and the rumor is they're actually going to use that to say that that version in the main Marvel universe, like his own universe, was the actual Fantastic Four that had been displaced in time, like they got lost in the past and stuck there for a while. And through the course of their movie, they'll find a way to come back to the events of present day, like they'll make it back to present day. And that's why we haven't seen the actual Fantastic Four characters until now. Like, they'll actually just be from the past, technically, and then come into the future. Obviously, them casting Adam Driver's Mr. Fantastic is a bit of a left turn. I actually expected him to be cast for a character like Doctor Doom, just because he's so dark and broody, most of the characters that he plays. I feel like he'd be fantastic either way. It sounds like this version of Reed Richards, if they're casting him for Mr. Fantastic, will be a much more hardcore, darker version of Reed Richards. There are reports that Marvel did approach him about playing either Reed Richards or Doctor Doom, and it sounds like he wanted to play Reed Richards more than he wanted to play Doctor Doom. Maybe he wanted to avoid being typecast. You guys can let me know what you think about the actual casting. I mean, he's a fantastic actor. I'm just interested to see what they do with this version of the actual group. There have also been reports about casting for Sue Storm being pretty close to the Invisible Woman. Mila Kunis was spotted recently having a meeting with Matt Shakman, the director of the movie. Allison Williams' name was thrown around, and Jodie Comer, who I'd love to see play a more unhinged version of Sue Storm if Adam Driver's going to be doing a darker, more intense version of Mr. Fantastic. No word yet on who would play Johnny Storm or the Thing, Ben Grimm. There were rumors that the Thing was going to have a cameo scene during She-Hulk, and like one of those meta type of cameos, but he'd still be a version of Ben Grimm. He wouldn't have had his powers yet, or it would have just been an Easter egg for his character. They did have that weird meta post-credit scene teaser with all the sneakers that featured Easter eggs for like every single major comic book character that Marvel has ever done, including all the X-Men characters, Fantastic Four, all the way bigger versions of characters that Marvel hasn't done yet, or versions of characters that they're about to do, like Deadpool in Deadpool 3. He was featured in the scene. But they've actually been setting up the Fantastic Four, including Easter eggs for the team, for a long time, since the very beginning of Marvel Phase 4, even the end of Marvel Phase 3, like Spider-Man Far From Home. The next big Easter egg is the construction sign. So when he swings down, you see the 1, 2, 3 and question mark instead of the 4 with the different colors. The text reads, "We can't wait to show you what comes next." Obviously, that's a reference to a bunch of different things in Marvel Phase 4. It's a reference to Marvel Phase 4 itself, like we can't wait to show you all the new movies and Disney Plus Avengers spin-off series that we're doing right now. But as you probably spotted, the 4 numbers and the colors of the numbers also correspond to the power sets of the Fantastic Four. So the 1 is red, represents Human Torch. The 2, yellow, represents the Thing. 3, blue, Mr. Fantastic. And the reason why you don't see the 4, it's a question mark, is because it's meant to represent the Invisible Woman. It's invisible, so you can't see the 4. Then the last little Easter egg here is when he swings down and they stand on the street corner here at the intersection of East 41st and Library Way. That's actually near Yancey Street in the comics, where the comic book version of the Baxter Building resides. There's also a really cool connection between what's going on with all the quantum energy, the portals that Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Doom use in the MCU, as well as Kang the Conqueror in the future. So like all these characters are connected. But according to Sam Raimi, the director and the writer of the movie, the really cool Doctor Doom scene happens when John Krasinski's Reed Richards of the 838 Universe Fantastic Four enters the room for the first time. And this is the clip of them talking about that, just doing commentary for the movie. So really cool reveal if you listen to the commentary.
Lashana Lynch.
Lashana Lynch was a pleasure to work with.
Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four.
So was John.
Hello, Stephen.
Teleportation device he uses to get into the scene is something we took from the comics. That's Doctor Doom's time door, time platform.
Stephen, but it's not the Scarlet Witch that we fear.
And while it is not Professor X's first time on screen, it is the first time we see that hover chair from the animated series.
Reed Richards is my favorite Marvel Comics character, so it was a real honor to write his first entry, I guess, here in the MCU.
So there's a lot to unpack in that John Krasinski Fantastic Four stuff that Sam Raimi and the writer are talking about, but the really important part is all the stuff about Doctor Doom. They're confirming that Reed Richards' portal technology is the same technology that the TVA is using, allowing him to travel across time and space, not just across space, confirming that it's based on their version of Doctor Doom's time travel platform, which is a huge comic book deep cut. That also confirms that he's using quantum energy to power it, which was a big theory of ours, like he'd be using quantum energy because the portal looked very similar to TVA portals, it's just that it's blue-colored instead of orange-colored. And we know all of Kang or He Who Remains time travel platforms, the TVA portals that they use, and Iron Man's time travel platform during Avengers Endgame is also powered by quantum energy. And if you didn't realize too, Iron Man's time travel platform is also based on the concept from Doctor Doom's time travel platform. It's just a very different looking kind of platform. The one in Doctor Strange 2 is more literally meant to be a copy of Doctor Doom's time travel platform because of the way it looks here. The reason why his portal would be blue in Doctor Strange 2, probably just because of the difference in the actual technology behind the portals themselves. The version that Kang uses in the distant future, the TVA technology, would be vastly, vastly more advanced. So this means in the 838 universe, John Krasinski's Reed Richards had already encountered a version of Doctor Doom. Makes sense. This is kind of like the wish fulfillment, most comic booky universe that we've ever been to inside the MCU multiverse. Like every big Easter egg from the comics mixed together in a bucket, put on the Illuminati together, which themselves are a huge Easter egg for the team in the comics. So this version of Reed Richards would have had a version of their comic book history together with Doctor Doom in school. Doctor Doom's origin story is also connected to the history of the Fantastic Four when they were attending school. They kind of did a version of that backstory during the classic Fantastic Four movies at Fox.
You know, you made a lot of folks at MIT feel like a junior high science fair, so you'll excuse me if I savor the moment.
And this 838 universe version of Reed Richards developed his portal technology based on Doctor Doom's time travel platform, meaning that their Doctor Doom had already figured out time travel and built a version of it. Like in the main MCU 616 universe, it's Iron Man who's the one to be the first to figure out time travel, building his time travel platform. You have to imagine in this universe, it was Doctor Doom being the person to do that. And then this version of Reed Richards just improves on that design, basing his portal tech on it. Because the writer said that this version of the 838 universe Fantastic Four backstory and Doctor Doom took more from the comics, you have to imagine that this universe's Doctor Doom also created his time travel platform for similar comic book reasons. Like all the Illuminati stuff with them versus their version of Thanos and their version of Avengers Infinity War is all completely separate from the Doctor Doom stuff, it sounds like. I'm not expecting to see Doctor Doom during this new Fantastic Four movie. They might be introducing him in some other MCU place. But there were reports they were actually going to tease him during Black Panther Wakanda Forever at one point, and he would have been behind the initial mission to actually find vibranium underwater. Because we're getting so close to the movie coming out, we'll probably see some more Easter eggs for his character as well as the other Fantastic Four characters. Everyone just post all your reactions about what's going on. Let me know who you want to play the other Fantastic Four characters in the comments. Marvel's next big series that I'll be doing episodes for is Secret Invasion. Click here for my brand new Secret Invasion trailer video, and click here for all my new Guardians of the Galaxy trailer videos and Easter eggs. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.